So you might not be as well versed in teaching it as I am, but something I can't forgive. Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Insta-Garbage. In this series, I take videos that you guys DM me on Instagram and determine whether or not the content is good or if it's just a clickbait title with some clickbait references to boost views for a fitness influencer that's run out of content ideas. And unfortunately for this guy, the videos that were sent to me weren't looking too good. And I know exactly why they were sent to me too. We'll get to that in a second. First things first, if you do like this type of content and you want to see more of it, make sure you go down and tap that like button. And if you see any videos that look a bit sus and you want me to check them out, shoot me a DM, Scott Herman Fitness on Instagram. So, let's dive right in. My friend Jordan sent me these videos. It's actually a couple videos because they all kind of circle around the same thing. From this guy on TikTok, his name is Mike Wiedenbach. And the reason why he sent them to me is because Jordan knows, my friend Jordan, that my #1 most favorite tricep exercise of all time, in fact, my favorite exercise to do in the gym, out of any exercise you can do, is the power bomb.
I like it a lot.
And here we have this guy saying it's the absolute worst triceps exercise you can do. Let's watch this video and see what he says.
First video in your gym, the worst tricep exercise, aka power bombs. Why? 1, tough on the cuff, and 2, the triceps don't do this, they do that. So this, no go, mic out.
Okay, so he says it's one of the worst exercises you can do because it's tough to cuff, and he's talking about getting your hands like this to hold the dumbbell, which I really don't think that's a reason to not like an exercise because you have a hard time doing it correctly. But I mean, he has his opinion, he's entitled to it. But the second part of what he said, I don't really 100% understand because he says that your triceps don't do this, they do that. And then he says mic out and drops the mic. One thing I don't like about TikTok videos and even Reels on Instagram is that the information is coming at you so fast that there's really no explanation behind it. So you don't know what to think unless you were to ask the person, right? So with that in mind, I found another video from him because I guess he got a lot of heat for making that triceps video. So let's check out what his rebuttal was.
All right, since my worst dumbbell exercise for triceps caused a major stir, here's the best one. So the triceps, they do this, not that, right? Henceforth, we gotta find something that does this against resistance, which is you grab the cable, you twirl, and you go like so. And there you have the natural motion. My God.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
So based on that explanation, what Mike is saying is that you want to find an exercise that places your arms under resistance when you're extending out to the side, which is a natural motion because extending this way is not a natural motion. In my opinion, any way you can extend your arm that doesn't put you in pain is a natural motion because you can do it without having to contort yourself or try very hard. Like I can go like this, and it's all a natural motion. Also, whether you're extending here or here, the function of the triceps is to extend the elbow joint. So you're still working your triceps, right? But let me get into form real quick. Let me move you guys real quick. All right, that should be a good angle. Okay, so the reason why the power bomb has always been one of my absolute favorite exercises for triceps is because it specifically targets the long head the most out of all 3 heads. It does hit all 3 heads, targets the long head the most because our arms are elevated up like this. Whenever you do an exercise for your triceps and your arms are elevated, you're gonna activate that long head more. And if you want arms that fill out your sleeves on your t-shirt, at least this was my thought process when I was 14, you want to get that horseshoe, right? So you got to target that long head. Now, doing this exercise wrong obviously can cause pain, all right? Any exercise you do wrong is going to cause pain or discomfort. So you should be more worried about trying to figure out why you're feeling pain or discomfort when you're doing an exercise versus writing it off as being bad or the worst. Now, the first thing that he said about the dumbbell being hard to cuff, I've never had a hard time grabbing a dumbbell. I have seen people do it wrong. I've seen people grab the dumbbell like this and then attempt to do the exercise like that, which is very uncomfortable. And I've also seen people not get their hands totally flat when they're gripping the dumbbell as well. And that's probably what he's doing. When you get into position, you want to take your hands and literally take your thumb, wrap it around the dumbbell and place it flat, and place the other hand flat on top. And you do this once you already have the dumbbell on your shoulder. Then from here, start off with your arms fully extended above your head, lower it down as far as you can, and you should be able to get this dumbbell down behind your head. There's no need to stop at 90 degrees, makes absolutely zero sense. All the way down, all the way up, and go like this just for reps. That's how you perform the movement correctly. Now, the reason why some people probably don't like this exercise, well, there's a few reasons. Number one, if you have bad mobility in your shoulders, you probably have a really hard time doing this exercise. And believe it or not, if you have really tight lats, that might be preventing you from bringing your arms all the way back comfortably, and you start to feel a lot of tension through here and in your elbows as well. So like I said, if you feel discomfort, try to find a reason for that discomfort versus saying that the exercise is bad. Another thing, when you're performing this movement, you can do it wrong by flaring your elbows too much. And for those of you that are feeling shoulder pain, but you have good mobility, it's possible that while you're bringing the weight down, you're flaring your elbows so much that you're transferring a little bit of that load into your shoulder as you press above your head. Now, I have seen trainers teach this exercise and tell their clients to basically try to crush their head with their elbows and come down like this. And this is just as uncomfortable as having your elbows way out there. What you should do is start with a lighter weight and literally just find a comfortable spot for your elbows to sit where you can go all the way down and all the way up and feel the majority, if not all the tension in your triceps. And I guarantee you, if you start out with a lighter weight and work on your mobility, you're gonna gain a lot of strength and a lot of mass in those triceps. So Mark, I can forgive you because maybe you don't have as much experience with the power bomb as I do. Like I said, it's my absolute favorite exercise. So you might not be as well versed in teaching it as I am, but something I can't forgive, and you should know this as a fitness influencer, is that the best exercise for the triceps long head is certainly not a dumbbell triceps kickback. Okay? I don't even know where you came up with this, thinking this was the best exercise you could do, but we're gonna watch your video real quick.
Tricep for the long head, the kickback. So done like so, not this, the donkey. Stand relatively tall, drive the elbow back, and the real work happens here, the last 2 inches.
That's what she said.
That's max activation. Study in link. Mike out.
All right, so here's my beef with this video. There's not necessarily exercises that are bad or good. Obviously, there are exercises that work better than others, but that reason why an exercise doesn't work well shouldn't be because you don't know proper form or you haven't trained that movement properly so that your body can adapt to that movement pattern to maximize how much weight you're lifting. The thing you don't want to do if you run into an issue like this, and we're going to compare the power bomb to the triceps kickback, because in his video he said the triceps kickback is one of the best exercises to target the long head, where in my opinion I very much disagree. The power bomb is one of the best exercises, or even an overhead skull crusher. But to go from a movement like a power bomb, where you're going to be lifting a lot more weight, double, triple, sometimes quadrupled, depending on how strong you are, trying to take that exercise away and replacing it with a movement where you only get peak activation in the last 2 inches of the range of motion of the exercise, it just doesn't make any sense how you could say that is better. In fact, if I were ever to put a triceps extension into one of my workouts, it would be as a warm-up or finisher. And the reason being is because when doing the exercise, if you're holding a dumbbell and you're trying to extend backwards like this, you're not going to be able to lift that much weight, for the reason being that the leverage point is off. You're trying to hold a heavy dumbbell all the way out here. A lot of that tension is going to transfer to your shoulder. And as it gets heavier, your arm is going to come down like this, and you're going to lose a lot of that range of motion. Now in his video, he says all you need is the last 2 inches. I mean, I don't really agree with that either, because his arm was down here, so the amount of tension you're feeling is not that much at all. In order to perform a tricep kickback correctly, you got to have your elbow high and basically your upper arm parallel with the floor to make sure you can maximize the amount of tension you're placing on your triceps as you extend back. So yes, you do need to be bent over, you do need to be parallel to the floor in order to do this. But again, this range of motion right here, you're not really feeling any tension on the triceps. It's only this little bit. Now, I guess you could say that you could switch over to a cable, and because the cable has constant tension pulling it this way, you're going to feel it the entire time you do your set. But again, the amount of weight you're going to be able to lift with the cable or dumbbell is going to pale in comparison when doing an exercise like a power bomb. Or at least that's my opinion. I would love to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Make sure you tap that like button. If you got some videos you want to send me for the next Insta-Garbage episode, make sure you shoot me a DM, Scott Herman Fitness on Instagram. And if you want to see that triceps forced growth video, you can check it out right here. And as always, more good stuff coming soon. See you guys.